All right, Motorcycle Safety Month is here, and Kalina Estrino's teamed up with the CHP to give riders tips to keep them safe while they're on the road. And Kalina, you and I were talking about it in the makeup room this morning. We've heard all these horrible statistics that involve motorcycle drivers. You were there on the case to find out the real story of what's going on from the CHP themselves.
So, you know, it is pretty crazy because motorcycle accidents happen all the time. And I remember actually when I was in LA and I was working at the traffic center, literally we reported so many accidents in general, but I feel like the most severe accidents were always involving some type of motorcyclist, excuse me. So we are doing demonstrations today. So we have some officers down there that are going to be doing some braking techniques. Sergeant?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes. So we're going to demonstrate the effectiveness of using rear brake only versus combination braking, which is front brake and rear brake in combination together. And we just want to show the general public the difference in stopping distance because it's very significant.
Okay.
So
let's start this. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to stay way out of the way just because I know these are trained professionals, but so tell me, so how fast is he going?
Okay, so this was a 35-mile-per-hour exercise, and the first officer utilized rear brake only. So that gives you an indication. He started the braking exercise at the first cone.
Oh, really?
And you saw the distance. Now this guy's going to use both brakes. And as you can see, he stopped significantly shorter.
So motorcyclists, do they normally use back? I feel like common sense would say to use the front brake.
Well, what happens is a lot of folks start out their motorcycle career, if you would say that, riding dirt bikes. So they learn at an early age you use a rear brake.
Oh, okay.
You front brake in the dirt is not really what you want to use. Then they transition to pavement and they continue with that same theory, and the problem is when you utilize rear brake only, the rear wheel will lock up and it'll increase your braking or stopping distance. Oh. You want to decrease that distance to avoid a collision.
Got it. How interesting. Okay, so they're both going to do it?
Now they're going to come at the same time. The one on the right will be rear brake only and on the left both. And
my goodness. That's not good.
Now keep in mind, these motorcycles are equipped with ABS braking, so if you're riding a motorcycle that is not equipped with ABS braking, that rear wheel will lock up and you will travel even a further distance than he did.
Jeez. Thanks, guys. Are they doing another one or no? That was it, right?
If you like another one, we can get him to do another one.
Yeah, sure. Let's do another one. We might as well.
One more time together?
I mean, I'm in shock. I never really thought that it would go that far. So that's bad as far as an accident is concerned. If someone cuts you off or something like that, like if they're going with their rear brake, they're literally have no chance.
Clearly, rear brake only is not good.
Yeah.
You know, we want to get the message out there that the front brake is your friend, believe it or not. Yeah. Now, at the same time, you don't want to grab that front brake and jerk it. You want to. It wants to be a constant squeeze as you tighten up that brake. And
now I see him stop. I mean, he just keeps on going, but he's only going 35 miles per hour. If he was going any faster than that and he jolted like that, that's not good either, though.
Well, he's still going to be able to stop in a much shorter distance than the bike using rear brake only. Obviously, as your speed increases, your stopping distance increases.
Got it. All right, so we're going to have a lot more. Thanks, you guys, with everyone here talking about Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. This is the entire month of May. We'll have more demonstrations and more to come when Eyewitness News comes right back. So we are talking about motorcycle safety, and earlier we did some drills or
braking
exercises, excuse me. And we have Sergeant Mackey here and Officer Rodriguez. So we're going to do something else now too, right?
Yes, now we're going to talk about and demonstrate collision avoidance techniques.
So this is all for Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, which is the entire month of May. So what are they going to, same two officers? No.
Nope, okay. Different two. So what they're going to do is they're going to approach at speeds above 30 miles per hour, and they're going to demonstrate emergency braking and then off the brakes and a turning maneuver to avoid a hazard in the roadway or a vehicle that might pull out in front of you.
Okay, and this is very important because I feel like I see this all the time even when I'm driving. So let's get them going, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so you said 35 miles per hour?
About 35. We don't have the space to do it at a greater speed here. Okay. Normally we would do it at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, which we don't want to do that in general.
So if you'll notice, when the front end of the motorcycle came up, that's when the officer releases the brakes before the turning movement. You don't want to be on the brakes when you're making the turning movement because that causes the bike to stand upright and doesn't allow you to make that turn.
Oh, got it.
So it's real important that you use the brakes while you're in the straight line, and then before the turn, you're off the brakes, and then you make that movement.
That makes sense.
And again,
he's going to do the same thing again?
Yeah, you'll see when the front of the bike dips, he's on the brakes, and then you'll see the release when the bike raises back up.
Okay. So I feel like this goes along with lane splitting. I know I wanted to talk about this earlier because I see them, go in the middle of two cars. Is it something like this? Would it help avoid an accident?
Well, this technique here will help you to avoid an accident. Like a lot of times we investigate crashes where people just pull out in front of the motorcyclist because they don't see them. And so it's up to the motorcyclist to perform something, a technique like this. Brake quickly and then steer to avoid them. But as far as lane splitting is concerned, that's kind of different because traffic is moving in the same direction, and then you'll have a motorcyclist that'll just kind of drive in between the cars and just pass traffic. It's not against the law to lane split, although we don't encourage lane splitting, only because it is very unsafe. A lot of the motorcyclists don't know that we recommend that if you are going to lane split, it's only to be done within 10 miles an hour of the flow of traffic. Okay. And so you get a lot of motorcyclists that'll just ride a lot faster than that.
Got it. Okay, so we are going to have another demonstration in a little bit. And we're going to have more right here on KBFX with everyone that is here talking about Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. Right now, though, back to you guys in the studio. Exactly. So we are talking about Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and we have already done a couple of demonstrations here, but we actually have an officer with us who had firsthand experience with a motorcycle accident, correct?
That's right. Officer Abraham Hinojosa here. He was struck back in January, actually at 45 miles an hour by an errant driver who made a lane change and struck him. And Officer Hinojosa went down, and because of his protective gear, he only received minor injuries, which is what we want to also encourage other motorcyclists to always practice wearing their safety gear.
Was that the jacket you were wearing?
Yes, this is a leather jacket I was wearing at the time of the crash. I keep wearing it as often as I could because all this damage right here would have been my skin.
Oh my goodness.
So
you have back damage to the jacket too, right?
Yeah, I should have damage everywhere. I tumbled for about 100 feet.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's scary. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Well, I think I'm all right.
Yeah. Yeah, you're great. Along with the bow tie, you're great.
Thanks.
All right, so thank you so much. So let's talk about the demonstration that we're having happen right now. Okay. Sergeant Mackey.
Yes.
So
All right.
what's going on?
Well, they're doing what we call a slow cone weave, and what that is a balance and control exercise. It gives you ability and confidence to maneuver the motorcycle at slow speeds, which is something you'd obviously want to learn before you get out on the street and you interact with traffic.
Yeah, definitely. So you were saying that the training or the course that you go through when you obtain a license to ride a motorcycle, as opposed to what you guys do, it's not even comparable at all.
No, we go through an extensive training class. It's a 2-week class at our academy, and then once you graduate that class, you're out training for 30 working days out in the field. And the course at the DMV is just a few exercises that are done within 5 minutes time, and then you're turned loose to go right on the street.
Jeez.
So as a safety precaution, we recommend what Officer Rodriguez was going to talk about, a safety course that is available.
So it's really important to take this course, and it's open to everyone. It's actually mandatory, you were saying, under 21?
Yes, under 21, it's mandatory for everyone who wants to get their M1 endorsement to go through the California Motorcyclist Safety course. And they can do that online. They'll have to go to CaliforniaMotorcyclist.com, and they can register online. And we have courses here in Kern County up in Shafter at Mentor Field. They'll have to pay a fee, and it's not one of those where you just pay a fee and then you're automatically given a certificate. No, you have to actually earn it and show that you can safely ride a motorcycle.
So quickly, because we're going to run out of time, can you just hit us with some stats on how dangerous it is to ride a motorcycle, the accidents that we've had so far in Kern County, and then what areas you actually get in more, that you see more motorcycle accidents?
To date this year, we've had about 50 plus motorcycle crashes here in Kern County for the Bakersfield CHP area. We've had 1 fatality so far this year. Most of our crashes, unfortunately, have occurred out in the outlying areas of Kern County.
Well, thank you so much. So we are talking about Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and we will have more when Eyewitness News comes right back.